folks say good morning. The broadcast of the Strolling of the Heifers Parade 2019 on Brattleboro Community TV is broadcast live on cable, YouTube, and on Facebook. And for the second time ever, BCTV's live coverage is being simulcast on Vermont PBS, transmitted to almost all of Vermont, bordering regions of New York, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and southern Quebec, including Montreal. Please wave to the camera, even if you're a cow, to help our crew show viewers the best of Brattleboro. The parade video and all the programs on our website, BrattleboroTV.org. The Brattleboro Police Department starts our parade, coming into the monitor, closely followed by the Brattleboro American Legion Color Guard and the Legion Band. Let's give the band a listen.
Let's give them a big round of applause. More cowbell. Remember that from Saturday Night Live. More cowbell.
You know, I get a kick out of them playing Surfing USA because I was going to be going to a Brian Wilson concert and he canceled his tour.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of surfing right here in Brattleboro as well.
Oh, you bet. Right on the West River waterfront.
Next coming up, we have the Strolling of the Heifers banner, sort of announcing, of course, this great event. So they're coming on up there with a beautiful John Deere tractor behind them.
Of course, John Deere actually was from Rutland.
That's right. A lot of agricultural businesses that you hear about today are still founded way back in the day in Vermont.
Check this out.
Let's give them a big round of applause, of
18
course.
years into this,
right there in the front.
Orly Munzing is still Mother Heifer and always will be.
That's right.
And she is a superhero.
She is. Look at that great cape she's got on. There you go.
Fantastic.
Give it up for Orly.
Great
Thank
to see
you, Orly.
Orly.
The organization, of course, many of you know, is a nonprofit with the mission of connecting people with healthy food, encouraging and facilitating innovation and entrepreneurship in the farm and food sector that we've been talking about. They've done a lot of work with local food systems, helping people stay healthy, eating well, working on resilience in our communities as well as we're looking at the climate crisis and building our soils.
And
here they are.
On the float is Miss Vermont Jillian Fisher. Good
Hey,
morning.
Jillian.
The Miss Vermont Scholarship Organization is a nonprofit providing scholarship money to young women like Jillian. Now, this next one is an organization that has roots back in the 18th and 19th century.
That's right. They've been a part of Brattleboro for a very long time. The Brattleboro Retreat want to stand up to stigma. They work with NAMI Vermont and other mental health organizations in Vermont. They believe that through education, empathy, and encouragement, we can stand up to stigma together so that people with mental illness and addiction can get the help they need and stand as equals in our society.
The Brattleboro Retreat, founded in 1834 by the daughter of someone with roots in my native town of Vernon.
Oh, no kidding. Excellent.
The daughter of Jonathan Hunt, Vermont's first lieutenant governor, Anna Marsh Hunt, founded this with half of her endowment. And let's go to the Brattleboro Elementary School Band. Give them a listen.
Give them a big round of applause.
And now coming into view, the Brattleboro Memorial Hospital float, along with United Way of Windham County. They've recently opened the Windham County Dental Center to help those in our community who have little or no insurance or on Medicaid. Great effort to see that.
In order to eat well, you got to keep your mouth healthy. So go out there if you haven't had a chance.
Oh my!
Get on it. Look at that.
Hospital
Beautiful
President
teeth.
Steve Gordon.
Oh, incredible. Absolutely amazing. After them, we've got S Wholesale Grocers. They're the
course.
largest wholesale grocery supply company in the United States. They supply over 6,500 supermarkets, chain stores. And look at that. They're giving out small packs of carrots. They must have followed my lead in the past. I've been giving out carrots when I'm in parade, so carrots are great.
That was the Brattleboro Memorial Hospital. In fact, they are
giving out the
their head of
carrots.
communications handled that. So they communicated the message well.
That's right. I got ahead of myself. But, you know, if you get your teeth clean, then you eat carrots, they'll stay nice and clean as well.
And here is S Wholesale Grocers.
There we
They
go.
supply 6,500 supermarkets, chain stores, military bases, and institutions with more than 400 people employed on Old Ferry Road in Brattleboro. They've been part of the stroll since 2003. Great to see you there, Guy.
Looks like they're giving out some Tootsie Rolls and Cowtails. Just one or two. Give them out to the kids. Thank you. Perfect for today with the Strolling of the Heifers.
I'll end up
Cowtails.
giving these to my grandkids afterwards.
I might eat one, but I'll give the rest to my daughter.
All right. So again, we are part of the Strolling of the Heifers parade, still in Division 1. A bit of a break before the next group comes through, because I believe when
We might have our first heifer coming along.
that will be a great time, because the heifers are a little recalcitrant sometimes, if I may use a $50 word.
There you go.
But someone who's been a veteran of leading cattle and other animals over the years, they come when they want to come, and they need to be encouraged with love and not force. If we could just kind of get that to the rest of the world, I think would be a much better place.
We might. And I think the crowd could give out that love energy. We'll get those animals coming along. And, you know, sometimes when animals dig their heels in, as it were, most people have learned if you tug on the rope hard, just like us as people, if you try to yank someone to your position, they're not as likely to do it. But if you work with them, stand beside them, walk together, you can usually get folks to move along, just like cows and animals.
So let's ask this crowd. Hey, crowd, do you feel the love? Say yeah.
Oh, well done. Do you feel the love? Say yeah. Woo. Incredible.
There you have it. I love a crowd that's cooperative.
That's right. We'll have a number of different cows coming through, because of course it is the Strolling of the Heifers.
Well, yeah. There probably will be a number of other animals as well.
That's right, absolutely. And there may even be people dressed up. I think we saw earlier, we had the dairy fairies. Orly was doing some up and down walking. I'm not exactly sure what that was, but some kind of animal. What the heck?
Our farmers are superheroes. In fact, here is the first group now. That would be the Merrimack County 4-H Dairy Club, as you'll find a few changes from your parade program, David.
Indeed. That's all right. We can roll with it. Farmers usually roll with what comes their way, so sometimes you got to make adjustments.
Got to think on your feet.
That's right.
And the Merrimack County 4-H Club, if I can find them here, located in Merrimack County, New Hampshire. That's why they're called the Merrimack County 4-H Club.
That makes sense.
They actually have a monthly donation of 10 gallons of milk for local food pantries in their county. They've donated 50 gallons of milk for those less fortunate. The Smile Police.
There we go.
Great
Smile
to see
Police
you,
are
Smile
coming along
Police.
as well. And they've got a few different heifers in their group as well, if I'm not mistaken.
That they do.
Some great young folks strolling those heifers as well. Let's give a shout out to those young farmers getting into farming and working with their animals. Beautiful animals there. Look at that. Those folks take a lot of time to brush their cows and clean them up, and gorgeous animals.
And here's one of my favorite groups, the St. Michael's Catholic School, Vermont's oldest Catholic school, led by Father Justin Baker. Father,
Justin Baker
good morning.
giving a wave. He's got Gracie there, very young heifer, just born in January.
And of course, everybody knows somebody. Manning Hill Farm, another quality dairy group. They are located locally. They
As we flip
established
through
in
the
2010. They have Dutch belted cows.
Oh, beautiful.
One of the more than 50 breeds of cattle you'll find worldwide.
Absolutely, and we actually honored the Belted Galloway a few years ago. Here's the Marshcroft Farm.
They're in Winchester, New Hampshire.
That's right. They've the second year they've strolling in the parade. They're a small 4-H farm raising Heifers, and we've got the mom and a new heifer calf at home, and there's a new calf 5 weeks old.
Well, they're glad to be here. We're glad to have them here.
Absolutely.
We do have other floats coming up. As soon as we see them in our monitor, we'll let you know who they are. Not sure if they have cattle or they're just marching by themselves.
There we go. Heritage, looks like Heritage Hands, maybe?
Could be, but I'm going to just double check. I do see the strolling of my grandson. Good morning, Tony.
Excellent.
A football player at Castleton University.
Oh, excellent. Oh, look at those.
Oh,
Those
this
are
is
some
beautiful.
youngsters right there.
Now, hopefully, that should be Heritage Hands. They are so cute.
Doesn't everybody want one of them as a pet at home? Maybe, maybe not. You want one if you've got a little land for them and get them outside, little barn.
And of course, Tom Franks, our parade director, with a few last-minute updates. You are a good man, Tom. You always... Okay, we'll just kind of wing it. How's that?
We'll figure it out.
No, I break it down. No changes in.
We have the
Franklin County 4-H Dairy Club.
Created them to come down from Franklin County or up from Franklin County, probably up from
Actually,
Massachusetts.
up from Franklin County,
That's right.
Massachusetts.
That's right.
Great local dairy herds in western Mass.
That's right. They've got some third-generation farmers. They learn about farming history, technology, bovine physiology, behavior, and care.
And here comes the Heartland 4-H Cattle Club. Heartland is the home of course, longtime home of Congressman Peter Welch. And a gentleman I know from Heartland is the longtime town clerk and a great wise guy there, Clyde Jenny.
Beautiful looking heifers there.
Oh, great.
Little calves. One by the name of Black Widow. Beautiful cow.
All right.
You're good.
You're good, Tom. And in fact, we have more heifers just kind of catching up.
Yeah. I think from that Heartland group still. Look at those beautiful animals. You can see them on your screen if you're watching on public television. There they are coming by, all wearing amazing capes. Those animals are our heroes. They produce our food. Where would we be without food?
Well, I'd be a lot thinner.
Okay, fair enough. But, you know, if we think about it, it's about as fundamental as it gets. These cows are producing for us.
Here we go. Walpole, New Hampshire, the upper tip of Cheshire County, the Pinnacle View 4-H Club. In fact, when I was growing up, we used to go to Pinnacle View Equipment Company in Walpole to get our tractors and implements fixed. But now, Pinnacle 4-H is still carrying on the tradition.
Well, what a great group. Look at those. An excellent capes there.
There we go. Good job, young lady.
Nice job getting her to move. To move, of course.
Actually, my favorite moo is moo!
There is that one. You always wonder what's going on at that moment. And look at that, strolling a heifer with an injured foot in a wheelchair. Folks, get out here no matter what.
Here we go. Top of the World Dairy 4-H Club out of Reading, Vermont. Another fine representative from Windsor County.
Wonderful job down here in Windsor County. A lot of different farms.
And the strolling of the bicycle as well.
Sure.
Now, the next
Beautiful
unit,
rainbow name tags on them.
next unit I want to say something about because this is a special part of Windham County where we are.
Of course.
The Putney School, a co-educational boarding and day school for grades 9 through 12, founded in 1935, One of the tasks of the Putney School Farm, and all students, you do chores, you milk, you muck the stables.
Yeah.
It is a great way to get yourself in shape for the rest of your life, because you'll be doing all of that. Our farm director right here is Peter Stickney, the fellow in the hat and the blue shirt.
35 cows. They're pasteurizing 200 gallons of milk every other Friday. They use in their own dining hall as well. So they learn it from taking care of the animals to taking care of the milk afterwards, all the way to consuming it.
We talk a lot, when you're talking about agriculture, the critical mass of support services, and this next unit is part of the critical mass, which is in back of the cow carrier. You have to have a vet.
Sure you do.
And great family, second of the
But
three.
also this vehicle is I think the Steve Major
Actually,
heifer rescue trailer. Is that coming?
That is, and here's the bovine and equine veterinary services, Steve Major's group. And he also serves as a school board chair in addition to being a vet.
Oh, perfect.
One of the things grown in Vermont is entertainment.
That's right.
And what a great entertainer he is. He's been around for decades and still is young.
That's right.
Peter Gould.
Peter Gould. Good to see you, Peter. No, don't hit me with that. Oh. What fun. Good to see you.
I feel much smarter now.
That's right. And say hi to Molly for us, of course.
Of course. The husband of Molly Burke, who does a great job from Brattleboro
State
House
representative
District
from
2.
Brattleboro, that's right. And author, I believe, as well, he is.
Indeed. Here come the horses. This would be the Wagonback Farm, owned and operated by Catherine Wagonback, a certified riding instructor who teaches children and adults who love equines. And here's the cow pie crew.
Oh, excellent. You always need a couple cow pie crews. You never know when they're going to become necessary, but they're ready to do the job. Thank you.
And the Brattleboro Youth Soccer Association Brattleboro Storm.
My
Started in
favorite
the
sport.
1990s.
I used to play that a ton as a kid. Still get out and play once in a while.
Oh, beautiful. Rocking
nice
Horse
skills
CSA.
there. Oh, nice. I love CSAs. That's my farm's a CSA as well. Sign up for a local CSA. Support your local farmer.
One of the original sponsors of Strolling of the Heifers. They've been with us all 18 years. Utterly Smooth. Thank you, guys. Great hand cream.
And that's one of the biggest heifers I've seen.
Now the Gathering Place is up next. They are celebrating 30 years of helping people remain independent in Windham County. And I knew that Jim Stoughton would be on that tractor.
There he is.
John Deere. Good morning, Maggie.
Good morning.
Maggie Lewis is their director.
Do we have the Gathering Place? And then is Elm City Compost next?
Oh, yes.
That looks like it.
Think before you throw.
That's right. You can compost a lot from your home, put it into your garden. You can compost in local areas.
And speaking of
and here
compost,
you go, that's right.
The Rich Earth Institute, they are involved in a study of looking at how you deal with waste in village centers in Windham County.
Our own waste can be turned into great nutrients for your garden. Take a visit to their website, Earth Institute.
Windham Regional Commission is involved in that. And let's give a listen to the Leland and Gray Rebel High School Marching Band.
All right.
This may sound like a new group, but it's not. It's called Garden Path Elder Living. It's the merger of Holton Home and Bradley House. We're glad to have them both in Brattleboro.
Wonderful residential care homes. And after them, I believe we have...
That still is Holton Home.
That's right. Some of the residents, hello. Give them a big wave and applause.
Oh, yes.
Getting out on this beautiful day. Yep, we mentioned Bradley House and Holton Home.
And now, here's how I got down to the parade from the radio station this morning. The Marina Restaurant, they'll be hosting the Farmer's Breakfast tomorrow from 9 till 1, a special menu that benefits the stroll. And in fact, good to see you guys. Hey, Kate, give us a wave from back there.
There she is.
All right.
Give them a big round of applause. I believe we have the Holstein Association coming up.
In fact, the Holstein Association represents the largest breed group in America. They were started in 1885 in Brattleboro.
We have something unplanned looking here. A climate change sign. Looks like young folks trying to draw attention maybe to our climate emergency.
In fact, there are a couple of groups who do silent vigils in downtown Brattleboro every Friday.
I think they might be drawing the connection that our farms would be in struggle if we have more difficult weather patterns, which we've had a very wet May. A lot of farms are struggling, and some of that could be attributed to the climate crisis. We have the new chapter. They were founded over 35 years ago to bring natural wellness to others. They believe in the healing power of nature. They're heading around the folks that are on the road here. Well, these folks are shouting out for help, but I'm not sure what they want us to do.
You'll find that Brattleboro is a community that prides itself on public activism in almost any area.
Well, and activism is a good thing. It's helpful to know what they're being active about. What do they want to see people do? But also make sure the parade can continue.
We are doing a TV broadcast. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So they've got petitions for people to sign. I guess they'll be working through the parade, but hopefully they can work through the parade to get people to sign the petitions, but also maybe let the parade continue to come through for folks. I think folks would like to see the parade continue as well. I think many people are supportive as well. We would like to see the parade continue, and folks can take individual actions to help with climate change as well. I think maybe that's some of what they're hoping folks do. So we can work together. Folks can encourage climate action be taken, but also encourage the parade to be able to continue. obviously climate crisis is the biggest issue of our day. And folks down here in Brattleboro and Windham County do a tremendous number of things. But we also want to be able to have the parade continue as well, please. Sometimes you start to lose support from people that would otherwise support you if you stay along a bit too long. A lot of folks here are doing a lot. Folks are trying to carpool more. Thank you. I think they've done a great job raising attention about the climate crisis. They have petitions for people to sign, for people to do more about the climate crisis. Folks should take individual action. I think they've made a wonderful point about the challenges we face. Hopefully we can encourage them with large rounds of applause for the effort they've made, and then maybe if they could move on and let the parade continue, we'd really appreciate it. I want to thank our local law enforcement for trying to help them move along in a pleasant way first, if possible. I think everybody would benefit from that. This community is wonderfully supportive, and you can sign the petitions to do more.
Certainly those petitions which call upon the Brattleboro Select Board to make some action are the proper way to go.
Thank you. Let's give them applause for standing up for our climate. It's their future that we're fighting for here, folks. We all need to do our part. And thank them for making a great show. Part of, it's not just a show, it is an important movement that we're all trying to work on around climate change. But we also need to let the parade continue. We have a lot of great parade entrants who have done a lot of work to prepare to be here today. They've made floats, they've taken care of their animals, they've run great organizations. They're trying to be out here today to celebrate Vermont agriculture, our food systems. And you know, I think everybody here recognizes the connection between our climate and our food systems. But we also want to honor those folks who've done a lot of work to get ready for today's parade, to be here for you, and our crowds that have come out for them.
Certainly the farmers are great stewards of the environment. I know that if you weren't, you wouldn't be in business for long.
Well, and I think a lot of farmers are doing more and more. They're growing cover crops, working hard to grow their soil, do carbon sequestration, which is a huge part of climate change. I think a lot of folks can recognize if they support farms that are growing cover crops and raising their crops in ways to help our environment, they're helping with us. Each one of us in our day-to-day activities are both impacting and hopefully helping with the climate crisis, and food, which is what we're celebrating today, is a huge part of that.
Certainly the point is we all can do more.
We all can do more. And these folks are trying to raise attention to that, which is wonderful, but also hopefully we can have it move along. A point has been made to us that actually a lot of the floats also have vehicles, and those vehicles are now idling, which is a little counterproductive to the climate crisis. So we get this moved along, we'll get those vehicles moving along, and we'll be able to continue. Well, there's a great bike, someone who's clearly doing his part for the environment.
Indeed.
want to thank our first responders for being gentle but making sure the work is done so we can keep the parade going along as well. Maybe some of the folks along the side there, if you could move to the side a little, they'll be able to carry these folks to the edge. If those folks on the sidewalk could make a little space.
So again, we are in the middle of live coverage of the 2019 Strolling of the Heifer Parade. And what do they have to say?
Well, I just checked in with some of our great first responders here, and they're going to wait on the parade till we get the last person out of the way, just from a safety perspective. We don't want either the animals or some of the vehicles coming through to injure anybody. So we're taking safety first.
And frankly, when you have live animals involved, this is just as frightening for them.
That's right. And actually, some of those animals now have been standing out on the hot pavement as well, which isn't very good for their health. So it would be great if folks. Great effort here to raise awareness. That's really important. But also, as said earlier, we've got cars idling, which is sort of counterproductive to the goal. We've got animals that are standing out in the sun on the hot pavement, and we're all thankful that it's a sunny day after all the rain we've had, partly due to climate change. But frankly, those animals, it's not great for them to be standing on the pavement as long as they're being forced to in this situation.
So it'll just be a little bit before we are able to get going again, and an excellent point made by the younger generation about the need for activism. And of course, they're working on getting a petition in front of Brattleboro, asking that the select board and ultimately the town commit to making changes with haste to act on climate crisis.
Well, I think that's something towns can do locally. I think the state can do more as well, and obviously even nationally and internationally. Thank you to the folks bringing attention as well as the folks helping keep the parade moving.
Now, if we can clear the street, we'll get the parade going again.
That's right. If folks can pull back a little bit off the street, get back onto the sidewalk, we'll be able to get the parade moving again and celebrate these great farms, these great organizations. And you know, it's great, honestly, to see young people getting involved as well. You know, I think a lot of us would like to see more of every age group get involved in our community, in our political process, making our voices heard. So kudos to young folks for getting involved as well.
I believe so.
And here we come with
The Love Sheet or Sheet X, a science-based urban art exhibit made from cardboard and foam board, the ultimate in recycling. My. That looks like something out of Back to the Future.
I know, right? We have civil rights for all. We celebrate democracy. They're a homegrown Marlboro group, started up by Ann Brush, the sign there of Banner Arts in Starksboro. And they started in 2017 working to work towards civil rights for all, make sure everyone is treated with dignity and respect. Loving our farmers. We're doing a momentary die-in here in the effect for civil rights for all. We got Riverside Farm in South Newfane. They've got CSA Meats and Foods. Let's celebrate them as well and know that standing up for the climate, standing up for civil rights for all is critically important. Civil rights for all. Here they are, folks. Taking a moment and then continuing on. Let's give them a big round of applause.
And right in back of the Civil Rights for All, FM Kosmeskis Travel Cuz. They are a group that is educating the public that Travel Cuz at FM Kosmeskis is the new school transportation service for the Wyndham Southeast Supervisory District, a family-owned local business, and they indeed are superheroes.
Great work.
Okay.
Give them a big round of applause. Look at all the work they did to outfit that school bus.
I thought those were yellow.
They used to be. That one's going green. Maybe it'll be an electric school bus in a few years as we move on climate change as well.
Wouldn't be a problem with me. Let's go that way.
Looks like we are skipping around a little bit.
Yes, we have the Academy of Artistic Performance Dance Studio, some baton twirlers, and a number of dancers coming your way.
Give them a big round of applause.
They're all from Southern Vermont and Western Massachusetts, a top 5 national twirl team.
I've never understood how they can throw those things up and catch them so well every single time.
It's practice. It's got to be a lot of practice.
Fair enough. My dad used to say practice makes perfect.
Practice brings you closer to perfect.
Yeah, I'm not sure any of us ever quite get to perfect. Look at that. Amazing. Dancing, spinning, twirling. The Academy of Stars.
I've heard you do the same thing at the State House.
There's dancing and twirling for sure. Go kids, go moms and dads and families, helping encourage this great skill and practice, art form. Well done.
And I believe this is
Rocky Acres Farm.
Mr. and Mrs. Wood and Sons, operating their farm, Rocket Acres.
and they're followed closely behind by the Evening Star Grange, which of course, they have a member dressed as a chicken who's probably really, really hot. Their annual chicken pie dinner is this evening at the Grange from 5 until 7 p.m. You guys do the goes, Larry? Good.
After that, we got exchange students. The international exchange students have been participating in the parade for many years.
And there is
They've
still
got host families.
ability for you to host an exchange student in the Brattleboro area, right, Jill?
That's
All
right.
right.
Reach out to them. We have Edward Jones Investments. They do a lot of work with retirement. They're trying to build the golden eggs and the moolah cash cow, as they say. So they're making an agricultural connection to your investments for your good retirement. Got some good cowbells on. Well done. Look at those golden eggs they've got right there in that
That's
John
right.
Deere.
So I'd rather you be the goose that laid the golden egg as opposed to the goose that killed the golden egg.
Well, that and when they can get those golden eggs out of those cows, that's a tricky one.
That
Genetic
is.
engineering, maybe.
Well, how true. That would be the neighborhood schoolhouse as they come up on your monitor. Neighborhood Schoolhouse is a small independent school which has been inspiring a lifelong love of learning with an emphasis on the arts, environmental education, and social emotional skills since 1980. Thank you, Neighborhood Schoolhouse, for being one of the many independent schools in the Brattleboro area. You do such a nice job.
Great job, great kids.
Here's a goat. No, that's not Taylor Swift, that's a goat.
Some folks might get confused. That is not a cow. That is a goat.
Oh, yes.
In fact, that's a billy goat.
Not very gruff, if you ask me.
This looks like Nellie's free-range eggs. They were the first egg producer in the nation to receive the Humane Farm Animal Care Certified Humane Seal of Approval. They're based out of Monroe, New Hampshire, but they've got free-range eggs from all over the country.
Now, I get really a kick out of this. Not only are they humane, but they're a certified B corporation as well.
That's right. That's right.
And here comes the gigantic chicken.
We've got some music coming up as well after Nellie's eggs. Excuse me, Yellow Barn. They're an international chamber music center. They're up in Putney, Vermont. Sounds like they're going to have a little bit of music playing off of their rig there.
Their founders, David and Janet Wells, have been a true institution to the community, and now they're in the next generation of people running the Yellow Barn Festival. Look for their concerts almost anywhere, including in their mobile music hall. Now this next unit will give the music hall a little bit of a chance to play. All right, this next unit has a great Brattleboro connection. Returning Peace Corps volunteers trained at the School for International Training, which is now, of course, world learning. Thank you, guys.
Thank you
for
very
doing
much. Working all
yeoman
around the
service.
world. My
Not
sister
only
did
for
the
us,
Peace
but for
Corps in the
world.
80s in West Africa, in Togo. Peace Corps volunteers do amazing work all around the world. We've got, after our Peace Corps volunteers, see they've been to Ecuador as well and some other countries. We've got the Root Social Justice Center, working for racial justice, helping to provide physically and financially accessible space in Brattleboro for various groups to meet. Incredibly wide-ranging. Give them a huge whoop and holler for the work they're doing here in Vermont as people are beginning to awaken, and we have a long way to go for all of us here in Vermont. We've got workers on the farms we need to celebrate. We've got to support our Black, brown, Latinx farmers. What an amazing group of folks. Give them a big shout out.
And of course, here comes Hampton Inn of Brattleboro. Hampton Inn by Hilton, right up the road for 14 years. Great place to stay during Stroll weekend. The Milton machine is having fun. And of course, Early Head Start and Head Start, the parent-child centers of Windham County. That's a generation worth supporting.
Well, absolutely. And when kids get a good start, that really sets the foundation for them for the rest of their lives. And helping with parents as well. What a great organization. They're celebrating their 50-year anniversary. Pretty impressive. And they get food from some local farms. Scott Farm, Walker Farm. Again, as we work together locally, it helps everybody.
They're followed closely behind by Cub Scout Pack 447 in Brattleboro. Now, did you know that this will be the first year that they...
Yeah, Girl Cubs.
Yeah.
That's excellent. Look them up if you want to get your kids, boys and girls, some great experiences. Of course, many people are familiar with the Brattleboro Food Co-op. Incredible mainstay here in the community, 14,000 square feet of natural foods. Of course, they buy a tremendous number of products from local farms, local food producers, value added. They've also got a commissary kitchen, cooking classrooms. They've got apartments upstairs. They buy from many, many farms locally as well. Great organization. Be a member of your local co-op.
I was in the co-op yesterday finding apple butter.
Love apple butter.
Made in Wilmington, by the way. And, of course, the big part of the co-op is their precision shopping cart grill team. Light it up!
Look at that, going back and forth around each other. That is serious coordination. They've got 4 of the different tractor varieties there, well represented.
Now here is an organization that has been in Brattleboro a long, long time. Winston Prouty Center. In fact, Winston Prouty Center was named after the U.S. Senator from
That's
Vermont
right.
who helped pass the first, I believe it was the special education law, Public Law 94-142.
Vermont senators over time have done amazing work, and certainly Winston Prouty, a real pride of Vermont there.
Now the Prouty Center has their 50th birthday party coming up Saturday, August 3rd, 4 to 7 p.m. The Prouty Center now located on the former Rothstein School campus in Brattleboro. Fantastic, great part
Great
of today
organization.
and of tomorrow.
And then there's the Prouty Pickle.
So what did you do in the parade? Well, I was a pickle. Okay.
I was a pickle in the parade.
Tech support for the new generation, Europa IT of Brattleboro.
Excellent. They've been doing tech support for over 10 years. They chase hackers and block viruses on your computers. And here we have the Brattleboro area middle school bands. Let's listen to them play some great music.
Success story. They take a former contaminated industrial site and make it a youth theater, New England Youth Theater.
20th anniversary. Give them a big round of applause.
And of course, one of the founders, Stephen Stearns, with the clown nose.
There we are, and they've been working with kids from 6 through 19 years old for stage and behind the scenes. Great experiences for these kids.
Now I challenge anybody to do what the gymnastics people are doing, to walk up Main Street on your hands without anything falling out of your wallet.
That's impressive.
Brattleboro Gymnastics.
They're in the Gibson Aikens building here in town. Again, teaching great skills, great confidence in these kids. Amazing physical skills, balance, dexterity. Whoa, look at that flip.
Incredible. Wow, is that Spider-Man? Now that's a superhero right there.
Spider-Woman. They're superheroes, men and women. Walking on their spider hands. Look at that.
I'd rather walk on hands than walk on broken glass.
That's right. After them, we've got the Southern Vermont Ukulele Ukesters, I think would be how you'd say that.
I think so.
Got some musicians coming up. They're side by side. They played at the River Garden recently, and let's take a listen to their ukulele.
And I know that Lisa McCormick has been a big part of organizing this group.
I want you to sing along, folks. I know let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine.
And here's Molly Mark with her Art Neighborhood Project.
10 years they've been doing tuition-free visual art to classes at Moore Court, Westgate, and Ledgewood Height housing communities.
The Grammar School in Putney is next up, an independent school with students in preschool through 6th grade. They want to graduate students who contribute to a kinder, more just, and connected world. We need more of you. Thank you, the Grammar School.
Well done. We've got, after them, the Richards Group. They're here in Brattleboro for a long time with dozens of other locations throughout the region. They're supporting the ag community and protect farmers throughout the Green Mountain State and beyond.
And in fact, 3 members of their family invested right in Brattleboro and are part of the group that redeveloped the Brooks House across the street.
Well, wonderful. Give them a big thanks for helping bring that back. And also, they've got programs and insurance to support local farms, cheesemakers, artisan food companies, brewers, and more. Behind them, we've got the Adaptive Sports Program at Mount Snow. Nonprofit, they provide year-round recreation opportunities for individuals of all abilities and their families. You know, we got to remember not everybody's able to do quite everything as easily as others, and so to have programs like this to help get some folks out on the slopes and be able to do programs and enjoy the outdoors is really great for that volunteer program.
Now we need to give the just due to the Brattleboro Union High School Marching Band. In 2009, they represented Vermont in the presidential inaugural parade. This band has had a history of excellence all throughout its life. Students from Brattleboro, Guilford, Putney, Dummerston, Vernon, Marlboro, Dover, and Whitingham. They'll be part of the Brattleboro Independence Day Parade, as well as the BUHS homecoming football game. Ladies and gentlemen, under the direction of Steve Rice, the Brattleboro Union High School Marching Band.
They connect food from over 60 local farms and food producers to over 100 buyers in southeast Vermont. I visited with them before the parade. It was a joy to stand with them, learn about what they're doing. You know, the more folks out there helping connect the farms to the consumers through schools, through restaurants, really wonderful, helpful organization. Food connects.
This next group is celebrating their 20th year in existence. They turned a former garage, a former nightclub, into the Brattleboro Boys and Girls Club, directed by Ricky Davidson.
I stopped by them on the way back from the staging area up to the parade, and what these youth groups do for kids after school, keeping them engaged, doing programs, being active, you know, this is one of the best ways to help kids not get into trouble. We obviously face some challenges out there. Youth groups, boys and girls clubs, what an amazing thing they do for our community and for our youth.
As you can tell, they do so much at the Brattleboro Boys and Girls Club, including act as a summer meal site.
That's right, and I'm sure they would take volunteers and help anytime, donations.
Well, here we go, the Brattleboro Outing Club. They run a cross-country program. In fact, they're involved in a lot of efforts, including they originally helped with the annual Harrisville ski jump.
Oh, excellent.
They now have a regular program. They have a canoe and boat sale and exchange.
And let's remember, you know, staying healthy is both the food you're eating, which is obviously a lot of what we're talking about today, but also staying active. And these folks are looking pretty active to me.
Very. Of course, their cross-country ski trails utilize the Brattleboro Country Club during the winter months.
Oh, excellent. They're looking awfully familiar as they keep going around and around. Looks like we have the Green Mountain Camp for Girls coming up next. Been a treasured part of the landscape and community of nearby Dummerston since 1917. So just their 100-year anniversary just a couple of years ago. Worked with girls between the ages of 5 and 14 to be their own sheroes. And my daughter's in that age group, so hats off to all of you. Very exciting.
Ably run these days by director Billy Slade. Good job, Billy. And this group began under the tutelage of Richard Canton, an area artist, and they now have headquarters downtown in one of the buildings here, the River Gallery School of Art in Brattleboro.
Let's give them a big round of applause.
I love this next group. They're called Extinction Rebellion, Vermont Chapter, new member of the International Extinction Rebellion movement. They locally commit to non-disruptive positive change, partnering with other groups, celebrating the earth and their gifts. They're supporting and bolstering other groups doing similar work with MotherUp350.org and similar organizations.
You got local rep Mike Merwicki carrying the banner as well. But you know, they're connecting the dots like that earlier group. Climate change and agriculture and farming. Very important to connect those dots.
Here's the Brattleboro School of Dance. Including their climate queens.
These are all part of that same big group, I think.
Oh, yes.
Let's give a large rounds of applause for our folks working on climate change. This is really all of our future, from farming to our day-to-day living to the skiers earlier. You know, with climate change, there'll be less snow. It's all interrelated here, folks. Hi, Nancy. Everyone's books. They're doing a lot of work to fight climate change. Great information at their bookstore about things you can do. We've got regenerative farming here. They're working towards carbon sequestration. You grow agricultural crops, particularly grazing crops, and rotate your animals, you can actually pull carbon out of the air.
And of course, the independent community-run WBEW in Brattleboro, 107.7.
107.7. Tune in to community radio.
Farmers are superheroes, are they not?
We got to declare declare a climate emergency, we've all got to do the best we can. Make some adjustments, make a little less carbon, buy local. You know the average food travels 1,500 miles to your plate. So buy local.
Here's the end of the parade. That would be the Sunrise Farm Float featuring some great live music and the samba dancers.
Brazilian samba just gets you moving, doesn't it?
Actually, we're close to the end, but not quite there yet, because the samba dancers are here. A couple of floats left. Get you up, get you moving.
Get you moving, everybody. Dance along.
The Southern Vermont Mover buses are painted like heifer cows. And that's coming up in the sea of people.
A lot of folks are going to follow the parade right up to the Commons, I think. There's a lot of activities up at the Commons as the parade winds down. There's a lot of fun things to do all day today with this incredible day and festival and couple days of events here at the Strolling of the Heifers.
Of course, November 28th of 1996, they first ran condo routes to Mount Snow. Nearly 3 million miles, almost 2 million rides later. They operate Southeast Vermont Transit with 13 routes and serving 6 area towns.
We got some great signs here talking about supporting your local vegetable farmers, your dairy farmers, protect the planet, buy local food. That food has to travel a lot less distance. They can do some of that regenerative agriculture, pull down the carbon out of the air. It's all interrelated here, folks.
And I believe this must be the end of the parade.
Let's give a round whoop whoop and applause for the parade today. Strolling of the Heifers, Orly for organizing. What an amazing event.
In fact, a big thank you to our crew here from Brattleboro Community TV, as well as those of you watching on YouTube, cable, and Vermont PBS, and on Facebook. So, for our entire great group of people, David Zuckerman, thank you so much.
Tim, thank you so much for letting me co-host this with you. What a joy.
I hope we'll have a chance to do this again.
We may well. Some years I got to march in those parades, but I'd certainly love to do this as well.
All right, I'm Tim Johnson, he's David Zuckerman, and we are the Strolling of the Heifers Parade. Thank you all for watching. Have a great night.